Welcome to another episode of YPYP 1200. I am David Burnside, the founder of Your People, Your Place, and I got 1200 seconds to say something rich and compelling. So here we are, and I had done a previous episode, but I didn't call it an episode. I referred to it as a podcast numerous times at the beginning and the end. And I know full well that you're not supposed to call your podcast a podcast or your YouTube channel a podcast. You refer to it as an episode. So I had some goofs, but it was the first. And I am going to cut myself some slack as a way of demonstrating the humility that is beneficial if we all engage in understanding we don't have to be perfect. And while I had cringed a little bit when I heard that, I thought the content was worthy enough to stick with that as the first episode of YPYP 1200. And here we are on the second, making no apologies. So if that is any sort of inspiration for you, that would be great. Cut yourself some slack from time to time. It's a good thing, trust me. So in today's episode, I want to just talk very quickly about yesterday's, in that we covered a little bit of the why I did this and how I had been involved with professional level peer groups and my desire to bring this to the masses, to you, my midlife friends, and have it be something that and a place that you can come into with trust, no judgment. We talked about that. We talked a little bit about who it's for, the 45 to 70 year plus age group, and men and women, all shapes, sizes. And we're really just looking to create a safe space. I say a safe space, and that sounds maybe a little goofy. But we want to have, there's definitely, we talked a little bit about the rules, and we'll expand on some of that. The lack of, we don't want judgment. We don't want people to feel that they're going to be judged. We want you to feel trusted. We want you to feel safe, that you can share and not have to have any sense of regret for doing so. And so trust me, we will have rules, and we will enforce the rules, and we will give maybe a warning. But in general, violation of the rules, if people are if you come in and you want to be overly judgmental of somebody, or you want to share some kind of rant politically or religiously, that's not something we're about, and this probably is not the group for you. So it's something we really take serious, because it allows you to feel a level of trust and a level of confidentiality, that what you share in the YPYP community will stay within the YPYP community. That's really important. So we touched a little bit on that. I want to share with you today, this is from kff.org. They are an independent source for health policy research, polling, and news. They had done some updated health information post-COVID, and this is pretty interesting. The share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder, and this was updated February of 2023. And for the age group 50 to 64, 29.3% express a level of anxiety or depressive disorder. That is a third, of course, and there is some good news as we get older and you go over the 65 plus age group. that number drops down about 10%, down to 20%. And I bring that up because there is a level of anxiety and depression that is out there. And I want to make it clear that at YPYP, while we are there to provide support for one another, that doesn't preclude the work that we may have to engage in outside of your people, your place, in professional counseling and support. And what I'm hoping is that even if you are in that boat and seeing somebody professionally, that there is value to knowing you can be surrounded by a community of people that are not going to judge you. And hopefully there are people, and you'll find commonality in that there are others that probably, in all likelihood, are in the same boat as you, either have been through counseling or are currently going through counseling. And what's important is that we come together and we share the experience, and we share the details that we're most comfortable with sharing, because again, we're trying to elevate how we can live within joy. That doesn't mean that we ignore the work that we have to do outside of the group. But what I'm hoping is that even if somebody comes in, let's move the anxiety and the depression aside. And if somebody comes in and engages or had engaged in a really great online course, let's say for marriage, that you come in and you share that source of where you went, and more importantly, you share the experience with other members. I'm certainly not afraid to have you come in and expose those resources. That's actually the point of the Your People, Your Place community, is that we pull together, we help one another, we point to resources within the group and outside of the group. I'm not afraid of that. I'm hoping, again, that we are able to take advantage of that accumulated knowledge that we all have garnered so far on our journey. And that's really important. And accumulated knowledge is incredibly powerful. I mean, I felt that in my previous experience with peer groups. And again, I know the situations that we have going on in our country are not 100% exclusive to our country. And I'm certainly reaching out to other parts of the world. And I'm really looking to make a safe place for us to come together and talk about, again, a lot of those universal things that we have to go through, whether it's how we maintain our relationships with family, spouses, partners, friends, how are we doing balancing our job, how are we doing if we have to start a new career later in life, or just seek are seeking a little bit more friendship and fellowship with other people that are doing interesting things. So that's why we elevate interests at Your People, Your Place, because again, it's not just coming forward and talking about, oh, well, I have a problem. And I had somebody, as I was explaining this, the business to them, they're like, just sounds like you're going to have a bunch of people come and bitch and just bitch about things. And it's like, no, not quite the contrary. I definitely don't think the purpose of our group is to have people just complain. I do think there is some work that definitely has to be done. And when we have to do work, it's really nice to have support around us. But there's also a lot of great things that are going on in our lives, that are going on in your life, that are exciting, and those are things that are worthy to share with other people. And so it's not just bad things going on in our lives. It is about sharing, again, that accumulated knowledge. And a lot of that can be very, very positive. So that is something that you can look forward to as a member of Your People, Your Place. The other aspect of the community is, because it is digital, and it is initially starts out as really, and it will just by the sheer mechanics of the group, we have to start out in a little bit of a digital chat room format. There is an opportunity to do live meetups and live events, and we will absolutely do those minimally monthly. And as the membership grows, and again, I have to learn the platform that we're going to be on, which is called Circle. I have to see how we can transition and increase the number of live events, especially if we're in different time zones around the country, or if we're successful around the globe, of course. I don't want to have to be up at 3 a.m. to conduct a meeting half the world away. So we will find ways, and we will grow with the technology, and deliver an experience that provides, again, some support digitally 24/7. You can be on and messaging and meeting up with community members. You can take the meetings outside of the Circle community if you share information and you want to jump on a FaceTime call or a Zoom call. That is certainly something we would encourage. But again, I think the community, the 24/7 access, is something that is obviously a plus with technology today. There is no limit per se in when and how we communicate, how often we communicate, and when we communicate. Again, I certainly don't want to keep beating this, but it's not a place to come in, and the community group is not a place to come in with judgment. I've talked about that quite a bit. We don't engage and start arguments. The no rants policy. Okay. So it's not coming in and taking a political or a religious stance within the group and inciting, any sort of divisiveness. That just won't work on this platform. And it goes against, again, that trust that is going to be oh so important for you and for me. So if that happens, I had somebody ask me, well, what are you going to do? It's very simple. We'll stop your membership. And certainly we can edit posts. So if there is negative, and there are somebody's being disruptive with negative posts, we can. I don't want to have to do that, but we can remove that, and we can certainly remove the person from the membership. I think that's important to make clear. So you have a sense of comfort in coming into this community and feeling safe, and feeling that you can be trusted, and what you share, that you can feel that it's going to stay within the community. Before I run out of my time here, I want to talk a little bit about the why again. And I have tried soul searching why I'm doing this versus going and getting another job. And again, I think there's some things I've alluded to, just loving the people aspect of my previous job. And I like people. I'm a social person. Um, but oddly enough, I'm an introvert, which I know may sound odd, but until I get comfortable with the group, I'm very kind of awkward going into a brand new setting. And but anyway, I do love people. I love meeting people out and about. My kids think I'm weird, or lots of people think I'm weird, because I'll strike up a conversation in a grocery store with the checkout person, if you can still find them, or a waiter or waitress, or patrons at a restaurant, or, I just enjoy talking to people. And I was thinking about that, and I have always been rather gabby and talkative, and I was written lots of notes in my early report cards allude to the fact that David needs to sit down. I love the phrase, David needs to buckle down and pay attention. Um, and but I like people, and I like seeing what was going on with other people. And I don't feel I was pushy in telling people my thoughts or helping them, but I enjoy helping other people. I enjoy giving insight or sharing my story. And I've not lived the most spectacular life, but I've lived a pretty storied life. And that's just something that has been with me for a long time. I remember a friend from goes all the way back to kindergarten telling me in high school, and telling another friend that, hey, if you have a problem, go see David. He'll be able to help you. And I don't know. I just thought about that the other day, and it's I believe that is part of what has set me out on this mission. The positive of my peer group experience, combined with my love of people and wanting to help people and bring out the best. And I'm not gullible or so whimsical that I don't, there's bad people out there. There's really bad people out there. But I think um, by and large, people want the best for one another. And what I find interesting is how easy we will beat up ourselves before we'll beat up another person. And I mean figurative, not literally. I mean more in the figurative sense. So I just believe that we can come together in this community. We can share, we can help one another, we can share resources. I have so much more vision for how the Your People, Your Place community will grow, moving into live events, like physically live, to having speakers come in and having special events. You willing, joining, and making this successful will allow us to do that. This is about you. This is for you. This is Your People, Your Place. We'll talk soon.